All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Sorry for the delay. So there's gonna be some issues with stream tonight because Mana has some really shitty internet. So
Yeah, there's literally a whole outage right now.
yeah.
An outage.
So we're gonna go with this the best that we can. It might be a short stream. It might not be. We'll see how it goes. So recap of last time. I actually do remember what happened last time. I'm going to load the game first so that I can have fun with my little people on my main screen. Holy shit, that's loud. Apologies. All right. So we have our two characters so far. We have Kano, who's the detective in charge of this whole kidnapping case. Or he's not really in charge, he's just like one of the detectives involved in it. He's part of Shibuya MPD. And he has a whole dick diary, and it's not what you think.
It's not that kind of dick.
It's not that kind of dick diary. Then we have Achi, who is our 20-something-year-old rebellious, mean, clean, trash picking up hero, who basically
He's our baby.
He's baby. He's been picking up trash. He saves people. It's great. So what are we trying to do right now? Last thing that happened, the thing that we're stuck on right now, is the fact that Kano came across Achi trying to get away with Hitomi, and Achi knocked him the fuck out. So we need to go back. Oh yeah, it was bam. So we need to go back to Achi and fix his stuff. All right. So that's me. All right, a revolver? Oh, that's right, because he's the one who is going to witness what is happening to Hitomi back at the square after all the detectives leave. With a single fluid motion, the man I can read. The man lifted up the gun and pointed it in the girl's direction. He was aiming right for her head. Can you see?
I just see her picture. Sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's stuck.
All right, I'll take over for now. Just let me know when you can jump back in. Huh? The girl had noticed the man with the cane now. Seeing the gun pointed right at her, she froze in fear. You know, like a normal fucking person. Achi didn't hesitate. Breaking into a full run, he tackled the gunman with all his might. Caught off guard, the man sprawled to the pavement. This man, Achi, I love you. Fucking Superman over here. But the would-be assassin kept hold of his weapon and quickly scrabbled back to his feet. Achi knew he had to act fast. He grabbed the ashen-faced girl by the arm and attempted to drag her away. "This way!" he shouted. She just stared at him, uncomprehending, trembling like a startled animal. "Come on, run!" Finally, the girl snapped out of her daze and gave a fearful nod. Alright, we have a choice. Do we want to run to the police box, or do we just want to get out of here?
Police?
Alright, let's run to the police box. The police box, let's go! Still pulling the girl by the hand, Achi headed for the police box outside the train station. But it was empty. There were always policemen staffing these things. Why did it have to be unmanned now? Probably because every single policeman in like a 40-mile area is currently running after the dude with the briefcase. F. Achi flashed a worried glance behind him and saw the assassin in pursuit like a man possessed. Oh, yikes, this is not good. There was nothing they could do but run. With the frightened girl in tow, Achi ran beneath the JR Yamanote line railway overpass. The Yamanote line is a railway loop that services the Tokyo metropolis. Typically, the morning rush is quite intense, with the stretch from Ueno Station to Okajimachi Station sometimes crowded as high as 216% capacity, roughly 300 people riding in a space designed for 143 passengers. Unrelated to the Yamate Line subway that operates in the city of Kobe. Yeah, if anyone knows the Yamanote line, it is the green line around, and it literally just goes outside the edge of Tokyo. Like, it's a fun one to ride if you just want to, like, go ride a train. Because you get to see, well, like, you get to see a lot of different districts because it just goes outside the perimeter, but also if you want to go, like, anywhere directly, it's not really the most,
Convenient.
direct way to go.
Oh, okay. So it's just basically for people who like riding trains.
I mean, like, it depends on the time of day, and, like they said, during, like, morning rush, it's really common because all of the, other lines that are, you know, more direct are often really full. And also, if you only need to go, like, one station away, like, yeah, you can go to the Yamanote line really easily. It just so happens that you can go all the way around the edge. But yeah, if you want to see all of Tokyo, or at least the edge of Tokyo, choose the Yamanote line. Don't worry, just trust me, he told her. But first, they sped past a convenience store where an employee was cleaning up the sidewalk. Here, take this, will ya? Achi tossed over the bag of trash. Huh? Wait, what?
Wow.
If you can't find a trash can, just choose a random dude. It's fine.
That's what I would do.
Obviously. This way! They slipped through the crowd and into a nearby back alley. But this way's a dead end, the girl said, breathlessly. Like I said, just trust me.
Okay, Aladdin.
Stopping abruptly, Achi kicked down a wooden plank covering a gap between two buildings, clearing a space that a person could fit through. See? We can get away through here. In you go. But the girl just stood there looking terrified.
Because she's getting kidnapped, essentially.
I mean, like,
really.
Think about it. Someone leads you into a dead end, just kicks over a wooden plank and goes, here you go in there. Like, after you've just tried to be murdered? You know. I can't imagine she's overly into this. What's the matter? Achi asked. Come on, we gotta hurry. But I... She looked at him as if he, too, was about to pull a gun on her. He could hardly blame her. After all, he was just some random guy who had turned up out of nowhere. But this was no time for dawdling. The man with the cane appeared at the end of the alley. If they just stood there, he was going to catch them. Okay, sweetheart, hear me out, he said in a rush. The name's Achiendo. I live in the neighborhood, and I'm not the kind to stand idly by when a girl is being chased by some killer. So please, just trust me, and I will do my best to keep you safe. He hoped the look in his eyes could convince her that he was being on the level. I would like to say if someone ever stopped me like that, I would think immediately that they were a serial killer for some reason.
Same.
Like, if...
Honestly.
If you drag me away, you give me your whole life story and go, yes, I like long walks on the beach. Trust me, I don't know that I would trust you personally.
That tells us.
Just a little bit.
I don't know. I would, like, as soon as they let go of my hand, I think I would start running the other direction. Personally.
I mean,
but that's just me.
Like, you know that the other direction has a dude with a gun, so really she's just having to make a choice. The creepy guy in front of her, or the guy with the gun behind her that is very much trying to kill her.
Oh, yeah. Damn. This is a terrible thing.
She does not have a lot of options.
Yeah.
After a painfully long moment, the girl nodded her acceptance. Right, let's start with this. They had paused beside an enormous stack of beverage crates. I can talk, I swear to God. With a quick shove, Achi knocked the whole pile down, sending it cascading across their pursuer's path. Now that was a close call. The man with the cane was floundering, struggling to get past the fallen crates. My dude, I get that your gun is not very helpful in this, but that's just a pile of crates.
Yeah.
You don't have to, like, just push him out of the way, my dude. My bad, man, Achi called out. Mind cleaning that up for me?
So everyone's your maid now. Cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
Cool.
The man scowled back at them and fumbled for his gun. Achi flashed him a wave goodbye, then slipped away between the buildings with the girl. Bye, bitch. I think we got away. Somehow. Hurrying down a narrow alley, they emerged onto a side street lined with dive bars and clubs. Assuming the man with the cane hadn't given up, he would probably lie in wait on the path back to the main road. Achi decided that their best bet was to try and stay inconspicuous rather than risk getting caught on the move. Guess we can lie low here for a bit, he said. He led the girl to the entrance of a tiny old hostess club. She followed him reluctantly. Now she can leave. Achi flicked the switch inside the front door, and a chintzy chandelier glowed to life. He sat the girl down on the small sofa beside the counter. She gave him a worried look. Achi felt a pang of embarrassment as he realized what she must be thinking.
Oh no.
No, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not going to try any funny business. Someone I know used to run this place. It's not in business anymore, so I figured we're safe here. Little sketch, it's fine. The girl chuckled at his evident discomfort. All right, then, she said. So, we good? We're good. Okay. Well, good. Achi made a vague attempt.
No.
Achi made a vague attempt to straighten his disheveled clothes.
Because he was throwing them all over the place at the beginning, and we saw his back.
Yeah, I mean, it was still a very nice back, I will say.
He's bringing sexy back. Okay, I'm back. Terrible. I stopped, sorry. Anyway.
So, how about some introductions? I'm Achi Endo, like I said earlier. You can just call me Achi. I'm Hitomi Osawa. You can call me Hitomi, I guess. With each new word out of Hitomi's mouth, Achi felt his heart sing.
Oh, okay. Now he's thinking.
She was charming, personable, just about everything about her was captivating. Achi had never met another girl like her. This man is a simp and I love him.
You don't get out much, do you, honey?
He does not. Achi? What? Is something the matter? You were spacing out there for a bit. Achi shook his head to dispel his gaze. Damn it, this is no time to get all starry-eyed. He needed to think of some way to keep her safe from the guy who was after her.
Put on a puppet show?
That will obviously distract the man with the gun for long enough for them to escape. It's fine.
Especially if it's Elmo.
Yeah, you know. I know. Where's our detective Elmo? I should have made him one of our detectives.
Right. We'll have a chance.
I know. We'll have more detectives, I'm sure. Look, can you just tell me what the heck is going on? Please. I need to know if I'm gonna help you. Right. Okay. I'm not really sure where to begin. Hitomi looked down, lost in thought. Apparently, hers was a long story. All right, she said at last. I guess I'll just explain things as they happened. Wait, hold up. Could you keep it as simple as you can? I mean, I'm not really the sharpest tool in the shed. Complicated explanations aren't exactly my strong suit. Like, dude,
at
mood.
least he's on it. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Like,
at least he's on it.
Exactly, like mood. I don't do the whole complicated explanation thing either.
Like, just get straight to the point.
Exactly.
In 5 words or less.
Yeah, if you can summarize this in 3 sentences, we're good.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, Hitomi chuckled. I'll try my best. She got comfortable and then started her story. So, last night, somebody abducted my sister. The kidnapper demanded that I make the ransom handoff personally. He told me to stand by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya at 10 o'clock in the morning to make the exchange. So I did. And the man came by with a briefcase and... Whoa, I'm sorry. Hold up a sec. Achi had suddenly lost the thread of the conversation. Alright, if you lose the thread at times like these, you can press up to go back and reread what you've already seen. You can also press down to quickly scroll back through sections you've already read. A mark will appear in the upper left corner of the screen while you're paging back and forth like this. You can press the X button to reread the marked page. So if we want to see everything that she said, so I did, and this man came by and took the briefcase with the money, and then afterward that other guy with the cane turned up and pointed his gun at me, and no wonder he got lost.
This girl's like giving him kind of like the cliff notes, but not really. She's just like, damn.
I mean, to be fair, she's got to be in a lot of shock, man. Could you say that again, but like simpler? Huh? Sure? I'm just having trouble following is all. I mean, is this the plot to some movie or soap opera? No, that's not...
No, this is my life.
Yeah, or some kind of hidden camera show?
Right.
This is real. This really happened. The look in
Damn.
Hitomi's eyes was dead serious.
Oh, shit.
She's gotta be telling the truth. What would be the point of lying? And he had seen the briefcase and the gunman himself.
Right. How do you not believe her after that?
I mean, to be fair, we did choose the option where we thought it was all a movie and just went home and found out our dad was remarrying. Yeah.
You're right. He's that kid.
Yeah. So, how much was the ransom, if you don't mind my asking? Hitomi hesitated. 50 million yen, she said after a moment. Achi gave a whistle of amazement. The detectives told me that was a typical amount for a kidnapper to ask for. It's plenty, that's for sure. I guess there's good money in that sort of thing. As soon as the words were out, he realized his blunder.
Bitch, how insensitive can you be?
I love him.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I shouldn't have put it that way. He fidgeted awkwardly.
This boy is troubled.
And Hitomi looked away. I'm an idiot. Okay, but I think I get this kidnapping thing. So I'm guessing those guys who chased the guy who took the ransom were undercover cops? He replayed the scene in his head. But then... The kidnapper took the briefcase and ran, right? So if you were empty-handed, why'd that guy with the cane come after you? I'm honestly not sure. Hitomi's words trailed off. This was clearly difficult for her to talk about. Anyway, we should probably get you to the police as soon as we... No, we can't do that! Hitomi's tone was resolute. I can't take this to the police. Bitch, you were just at the police.
Right, what's the problem? I thought they were helping you.
Why not? Achi waited for an answer, but none came. After a long and awkward silence, she stood up from her seat. I really appreciate the help, but I should go now. She gave Achi a deep bow. Nuh-uh, hold on. What do you mean, go? Go where? He hurried to intervene as she headed for the door. I don't want to cause you any more trouble. I'll figure the rest out on my own, somehow. Hey, I said hold on. Hitomi ignored him and opened the door, and their argument came to an abrupt halt. Oh, hello, dude with a gun.
Man.
Standing Standing there was the man with the cane, his revolver in his hand.
Oh shit. Kick him in the balls!
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
I don't know what we do now, but whatever we do. But we did make it to the to be continued, so we made all the right choices for Achi.
Oh, thank God.
Yay! So now we gotta just do Kano. And then we are done with the 10 o'clock block.
Yay!
Alright.
So proud of him.
I know. You want me to take Kano?
Sure. Oh, I think, I mean, I see it working a little better now.
You can try it.
Okay. Okay, the man darted down the narrow hallway.
Alleyway.
Oh no! Alleyway, damn it! Oh no, it's getting scrambled. Okay, wait.
Alright. Kana ran faster. The man sprinted through the side streets. Evidently, he knew his way around Shibuya pretty well. The man shot out onto a major thoroughfare, then bolted up a pedestrian bridge. Just where the heck was this guy heading? Halfway across the bridge, the man stopped abruptly. Cautious, Kano stopped as well. Holy shit, dude. He does have a really fucked up smile.
He does.
Height, roughly 190 centimeters. Age, 30s. Hair, dark brown. Clothing, all black. A moment later, the man flashed a triumphant sneer and he held up the briefcase. Before Kano could even yell stop, it was already too late.
Oh.
The man threw the briefcase down to the roadway below. No! Panicking, Kano peered over the railing. A man on a motorcycle was waiting beneath the bridge. I've been had. Kano bit his lip hard. Damn it! Kano sprinted back down the bridge, hearing the bike's engine roar to life. He had to make it in time. We are not gonna make it in time. That man is on a bike and we have our legs. Descending the stairs 4 at a time, he leapt toward the roadway, but the bike sped out of reach and roared away in the direction of Yoyogi, leaving Kano in its dust. Looking back up at the overpass, he saw the man who'd thrown the briefcase running away. How did we not manage to catch either of them, and we saw both of them?
Listen, I guess they were way more organized than the police this time. So, I guess that's what happened.
Yeah.
They just had better teamwork.
I mean, to be fair,
the dream work.
The police did profile these people as people who had never done a kidnapping ransom before.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I would say that is incorrect. Mm-hmm. Based on just this handoff.
Quite experience.
Yeah. He handed the money off to someone else. He's currently on a motorcycle heading toward Yoyogi. His report to Kuze complete, Kano slumped down in dismay. The cops had played right into the criminal's hands. Now the crooks were getting away and people's lives were in danger. Was there any greater failure for a policeman? Staring off into the distance where the man who'd thrown the case had disappeared, Kano gritted his teeth. Hey, no one died. Which is probably different from most of the endings we've gotten this time, so... But we now have Kano's to be continued.
This is an improvement.
Yeah, exactly. It could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
Alright. We have done the 10 o'clock block.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah.
Celebratory dab, but I'm
there we
not
go.
On screen, so I can't.
So now we get to see the...
whatever thingy... I briefly saw it, but there was like that cat!
Mm-hmm. So, every time we complete a block, we'll get to see a preview of the next block. So this is 11 to 12. You can see we are going to meet a few more characters.
And a banana.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see who all we got from 11 to 12. All right, we have 5 people. Kano came back. Achi came back. We have Tama the cat.
Oh my god!
We have Osawa,
Yeah.
and we have Minorikawa. So, who would we like to do first?
Cat.
All right, let's go ahead and do Tama.
I saw the cat and I cried a little bit.
I love her.
I just like kitties. That's just me being dumb and having like only one brain cell, and
I mean,
that
look,
brain cell is
we get-
cat-shaped.
We get 4 dudes and 1 girl in a cat suit. It's so hot. It's
That's-
so hot in this thing. Way too hot. I feel like I'm sitting in a sauna. Everyone else on the street looks nice and cool. But here I am, getting treated to my very own personal midsummer heat wave. On top of that, I can barely see, I can barely breathe, for that matter, but hey, what can I do? Band. Oh, I am so thirsty. Some iced tea would be amazing right now. I'm going to pass out from dehydration at this rate. I may as well admit it. I underestimated how tough this would be. Who knew wearing a mascot costume could be so uncomfortable? A delicate young lady like myself has no business doing this sort of job. I suddenly have so much respect for the people on those superhero teams shows. Like, can you imagine doing action scenes in something like this?
No.
Heck, all I'm doing is standing here and I'm this close to calling it quits. But I can't. I need the work. I need the money. This is no time to be a wuss. If I give up on this, what else am I possibly going to do?
Not get that sweet anime merch is what I'm saying.
Check out the revolutionary new diet drink, Burning Hammer! I thrust a free sample toward passerby while shouting as loud as I can. A free portion, usually quite small, of a product given out to consumers as a sales gimmick allows them to test the quality and effect of a cosmetic or health product prior to purchase, frequently referred to as a trial size or freebie version of the product. In addition to passing out free samples on the streets, some shops also include free samples with purchased products. Please note that simply taking a product without paying for it in order to test it out is theft. Don't do it.
Okay. Good to know.
Come on and give it a try! Oh, it's no use. People just walk by one after the other. They avoid looking at the sample. It's been like this ever since I started standing here. What gives? You'd figure at least one person would have taken a bottle by now. I mean, it's free, but I haven't managed to give away a single one. If this keeps up, there's no way I'm getting paid. Then this whole miserable experience will have all been for nothing. Just drink this and watch the pounds melt away! No exercising or dieting necessary!
I'll take 500.
I can hear the desperation in my own voice. Just burn those pounds away! They're giving me cold looks now. They probably think I'm some shyster trying to offload dodgy product. It's that simple! That simple, folks! You just drink the weight away! I guarantee it! Heck, this whole thing reeks of a scam to me, too. In other words, it seems extremely dubious or suspicious. The word scam, referring to a type of dishonest scheme, is actually of unknown origin. Several folk etymologies have been proposed, including that it comes from a simple shortening of scandalous misdeeds, but these claims have little evidence to support them. Losing weight just by drinking some concoction is way too good to be true. But still, free is free. You'd think I'd be able to give 1 or 2 away. It's not like I'm not trying. Okay, pep talk time. You can do this. Think about the money. Just start with 1 bottle. Alright, I am going to give this bottle away to the next person I see, no matter what. I close my eyes and gather my determination. I just need to get started, and the momentum will build from there. All right, eyes open. There are 2 people walking in my direction. Wait, 2? Oh no, which one do I pick? If I keep waffling, they're both going to pass me by. I just need to hand this bottle off. Which one of these guys looks more likely to take it? Clutching the free
hobo.
sample in my furry fist, do I A, try to force it off on the businessman to the left, or I try to force it off on the disheveled fellow to my right?
Well, I know that the hobo's probably our cosplay friend.
He does look like it.
Let's give him a hard time.
All right. Clutching the free sample in my furry fist, I try to force it off on the disheveled fellow to my right. To my surprise,
like he could use a drink.
Yeah, to my surprise, he takes it. Huh? What's this? He asks, lifting an eyebrow as he looks at the bottle. I flap my fuzzy arms and strike a cute pose as I launch into the product pitch. It's Burning Hammer, the #1 new diet drinks. Please, give it a try. No thanks, the man says. I'm good. I keep my arms held open wide and pretend I didn't hear that. Look, he says, I'm in a hurry. You should give this to someone else. He tries to hand the sample back to me, but I hold my ground. For a few moments, we are at a silent impasse. Maybe he's weirded out by my cat alter ego holding its freeze frame pose, because eventually he looks away, slips the bottle into his pocket, and walks off. I did it. I finally got someone to take one. But there are still so many samples left. My brief surge of excitement dies before it can even fully take hold. Wonder how the other mascot is doing about now. There's a sales...
It's a chicken!
There is a sales demo happening today at 1 o'clock at the Nokane building. Huh. Looks like the chicken has handed out all kinds of samples. I don't get it. How come nobody's taking any of mine? What could I possibly be doing wrong? I look at the clock. It's a little after 11. My morning of wandering around hawking diet drinks is just about over. I'll need to get ready to head over to the sales demo. I'd love to take the costume off, but then I'd have to carry it. The samples I haven't given out are almost too heavy as it is. Oh well, I might not have gotten results, but I tried my best. I sure hope they don't withhold my pay or anything. Hey, what gives? You got that many left? The chicken speaks with a female voice. Yeah, I replies sheepishly. Nobody seems to want to take mine. Well, I mean, are you looking for the right targets? Huh? Like groups of girls or bored-looking older ladies? Those are the types you gotta be gunning for, you know? Wow, I hadn't even considered that. Now that she says it seems so obvious. This is a diet drink, after all. Of course, I'm not gonna have any luck trying to foist it off on random guys. Well, whatever, the chicken says. Here, give me the samples you've got left. I hand over my samples, and the chicken dumps the whole lot into her basket. I'll drink whatever's left so they don't find out you didn't pass them out, she says. Huh? Wait, like all of them? Yeah, all of them. The chicken sounds pretty confident in herself. These may just be sample-sized bottles, but still, they add up to a lot. I can feel myself on the brink of tears at the kindness of her offer. Thank you so much. That's a huge help. I bow deeply, which makes my mascot head wobble. Leaving the station behind, we head down Center Gai toward the Nokane building. The Nokane building is a multi-tenant office building in Udagawacho, located in Center Gai, Shibuya's downtown district. In addition to hosting the weight loss drink sales demo, the building is also home to the foreign capital protection firm Japan Cellcom, the IT mainstay Shibuya On Net, or SON, video game developer Shindai Trade Co., and Strike Back Labs, publisher of the monthly magazine Science Strikes Back, along with many other businesses. The Burning Hammer sales demo is going to be held there this afternoon. The job's supposed to pay 10,000 yen for the day, but if we can sell at least 100 bottles at the demo, they promised another 10,000 on top of that. I need to make sure I sell those 100 bottles. I need that 20,000 yen, and I need it ASAP. We arrive at...
God. I just thought, like, it should be kind of illegal to make people in the summer wear these big ass not rubber, fursuits. Cause like, if they do die of dehydration, that's a liability on y'all. Like, it should
Yeah.
be a winter thing.
Yeah.
Honestly and truly, cause y'all get snow, right? So,
In places.
in some places,
In some
yeah.
places. Tokyo doesn't get a lot. It's
Hmm.
like maybe 1 or 2 snow days a year.
Oh wow. Okay, never. Okay.
Yeah, it's not like anime where like you get winter and automatically it's just snowing.
Like a miracle, or
Yeah.
on Christmas Day,
Mhm.
conveniently.
Yeah. We arrive at the Nokane building, a rundown multi-tenant office complex. We head into the room where the Burning Hammer sales demo is taking place. There are already about 50 seats set out. Wonder how many people the free samples will pull in. A stage has been set up at the far end of the room. That's where I'm going to be standing, sipping Burning Hammer while explaining its effects to the customers. Hurry up and take that thing off. The chicken flaps her wings as she speaks. It's kind of early, but come on, let's have lunch. I'm starving. Now that she mentions it, I realize I'm pretty hungry myself. The demo's not starting for another 2 hours. I can't win a war against my stomach for that long. The chicken and I head to the waiting room where they've set out our lunches for us. Mind getting my back real quick? The chicken asks. She arches her back toward me. Apparently, she can't reach her own zipper. Oh, sure, give me a sec. I try to unzip the back of the chicken suit, but my own suit's thick, furry fingers have a hard time of it. What's the holdup? Come on, I'm roasting in this thing. Hurry up and get it off me. I've almost got it. It's just awkward with these mitts. Finally, I get hold of the zipper and yank it. Downward. In case there was a question. A girl emerges from the chicken as if the chicken itself were an egg. I'm alive! Her red sweatshirt is drenched in sweat. Almost at once, she's kicking back and cooling off with a hand fan. Sorry, but would you mind getting me too? I ask. Yeah, okay. I turn my back to the girl. I hear metal clacking behind me. At long last, I'm about to be free of this 5-ton fursuit. Huh? The girl murmurs awkwardly. Huh? What? A spike of anxiety hits me. What's wrong? I ask. Yeah, that's a no-go. Zipper's busted.
Oh god.
What? Yeah, sorry, this thing ain't coming off. What? My vision goes dark.
Poor girl.
No! I tug desperately at the costume, but no luck. I'm trapped inside. Oh, what the crap! Well, we can talk to the boss about it when he gets back, the girl says. I mean, it's not like we can, cut it off you or with scissors or anything. She sounds entirely unconcerned. It's so unfair.
That's what they should do, though.
I need to get out of this stuffy, sweltering steam bath as soon as possible. All I can do is clench my fist in impotent rage. But anyway, good work out there today, the girl continues. I'm Chiriko Osugi, by the way. You can just call me Chiri. She smiles as she introduces herself. I mean, I am a pretty cheery gal after all. She breaks into a hearty guffaw. Oh, sure, I say. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, for sure.
Fun.
So,
Anyway.
I guess you're not gonna be able to eat lunch in that getup, huh? Huh? Oh, that's right. What should I do? Don't sweat it. Just leave it to me. Huh? I'll eat both lunches myself. Cheery doesn't even wait for me to reply before reaching for my
drink,
lunch.
Right?
Yeah. It'd be a shame to let it go to waste, she says. She makes it sound like leftover food is a bigger concern than my hunger. I can feel my appetite stirring all the more as she devours my meal with a satisfied grin on her face.
That's so sad.
A faint, pathetic gurgle rises from my belly. It's just a cheap little prepackaged box lunch, but right now it looks like a feast. So, what's your name? Cheery asks. Her cheeks are still packed with rice. My name? Yeah. Oh, it's... As I struggle to think of an answer, my eyes alight on the piece of tamagoyaki clutched between Cheery's chopsticks. The yellow slab of lightly grilled egg wobbles to and fro. I can see the inside from the way it's been sliced. It looks somewhat undercooked. Come on, what's your name? Huh? Oh, right, Tama. It's Tama. Huh? You mean like the famous cat? Well, ain't that fitting? Cheery chortles and stuffs the piece of tamagoyaki into her mouth, then takes a big swig of iced tea. I am beyond jealous. I wish I could gorge myself on those box lunches until I'm full to bursting. Heck, even a cold glass of iced tea would be a lifesaver right now. I'm so thirsty, I'm starting to get all dizzy. Maybe I really am getting dehydrated. This isn't good. If I don't do something, I'm going to pass out before the sales demo even starts. And then I remember something. The zipper down my back might be busted, but I can still take the head off, right? That way, I'd at least be able to eat and drink stuff. All right! I decide to. Are we going to grab the head with both hands and yank it upward with all our might? Are we going to B, rock our head back and forth good and hard? Or C, ask Cheery to assist me? Sorry, would you mind helping me pull my head off?
Yeah, let's get assistance because if we do it ourselves, first of all, we have almost no energy left.
Yeah.
So I think we need help on this.
I decide to ask Cheery. Sorry, would you mind helping me pull my... Ow! I feel a dull throbbing pain at the back of my head. Like I bumped my head somewhere. But I don't remember doing that recently. Cheery flashes me a curious look. What are you doing? She asks. I thought maybe I could at least get the head off. That ain't gonna work. That thing's attached to the body.
Ooh.
I slump forward in defeat, face planting on the tabletop. No. Most folks would have noticed that when they put it on, you know. Well, I didn't. The boss helped me get into this thing.
Ooh.
Well, don't let it get you down, Cheery says. Here, drink some of this.
How can she?
She pulls a bottle with a straw from her bag and pours some of the tea into it. In a fever of thirst, I jam the plastic straw through the mascot costume's mouth. Thankfully, it reaches as far as my own. I suck for all I'm worth. I suck, and I suck, and I suck. My body rejoices as the moisture returns to it, like rain coming to the desert. And thus, I revive. Actually, it kind of does feel like I'm coming back to life. Oh, thank you so much. I am never going to forget this as long as I live. With tears welling up in my eyes, I clutch Cheery's hand in my fuzzy mists. Hey, I'm not the kind of person to abandon someone in need, you know, she replies. An embarrassed grin crosses her face. How come you're carrying this bottle around with you anyway? I ask. Oh, that's because I make my own protein juice. In Japan, the word protein is frequently used to refer to a powdered health food supplement that contains vitamins and minerals, as well as a protein component. It's dissolved in milk or another liquid to create a drink. A protein diet typically involves drinking a glass of this in place of a meal. Drinking it in place of tea would assuredly lead to weight gain. Protein juice?
Good to know.
Never heard of it. I heard that if you have protein juice for one of your 3 meals a day, you'll lose weight. So yeah, I kind of need to keep it. Given Cheery's sort of, well, tubby frame, I don't think the protein's been working so great for her. I've been trying all sorts of stuff, but right now protein is totally the best thing for my diet. This stuff, though. Cheery casts her eyes at the samples of burning hammer on the table. It's like totally bogus. Huh? Bogus? That's a surprise. Well, yeah, Cheery says. You've got to exercise if you want to burn body fat. The best way to burn fat is to engage in steady, low-intensity low-intensity aerobic exercise. After roughly 20 minutes of such exercise, the body burns through its available blood sugar and the brain sends signals to have fat brought into the bloodstream. This is how fat is burned. Anaerobic exercise, which leaves you panting and breathless, is not effective. In case you wanted to know. She smacks herself on one flabby arm. I mean, there's no way you're gonna lose weight by taking in more calories. Huh? Didn't she just say she was drinking protein juice to lose weight? I keep that thought to myself. I mean, that'd be as ridiculous as all-you-can-eat Kobe beef, she adds. She shakes her head seriously. I'm not sure about using all-you-can-eat anything as an example in a discussion about weight loss. But again, I keep the thought to myself. But hey, a job's a job, Cheery says after a moment, perking up again. They tell me to sell this junk, I'll sell it. A sudden wailing comes from the other side of the door. Please, just give me time. I swear I'll get it back to you. What the heck? Cheery says. Is that the boss? I nod. That's definitely Mr. Yanagashita's voice. He's the guy who hired me. Sidling up alongside Cheery, I very quietly open the door and take a peek inside. Mr. Yanagashita is down on his knees and on his hands and knees begging while two uncouth-looking men glower at him. Just a little more time, that's all I ask, he pleads. Once I sell this stuff, I can pay you back. I see a tiny bottle of burning hammer in his hand. Just a little more, mimics the middle-aged fellow. I just gotta sell this. We've heard enough of that out of you. Yeah, the younger guy sneers. We ain't giving you any more time, so quit asking. But I really need just a little longer this time. Please, you gotta believe me.
I feel so bad for this man. I really do.
You won't. I promise.
Oh, okay. By the end of this, I'm going to be
end of this, you will not
that's what you deserve.
I don't know that you'll get all the way there, but you will not feel too bad for him.
Oh, okay.
From the look of things, Mr. Yanagashita is dealing with some loan sharks. Loan sharks, though it seems obvious that this term refers to toothy predators of the deep, the word shark in this case actually has its origins in an older Germanic word meaning parasite or someone who preys on others. The same word gave rise to the terms pool shark and card shark. In the case of loan sharks, though, the initial and mental image seems quite appropriate. And the two thugs are clearly in no mood for his continued groveling. No, these guys are a lot nicer than Yakuza. Cheery and I exchange a glance. It's probably best if we don't go out there right now. But now I'm really worried. Am I actually going to get paid for this gig? As I'm pondering that, one of the men grabs Yanagashita by the nape of the neck and drags him to his feet. Come with us, pal. We'll take you someplace you can, work off your debts. Say what? Mr. Yanagashita wails. The two men drag him away. Huh. Guess he's gone then, Cheery says. She's already starting to pack up her things. Wait, what are you doing? I ask. Going home. Not much point sticking around. Going home? I mean, the demo sure ain't happening now. Anyhow, it was nice working with you. See ya. Moments later, Cheery is out the door. Now what do I do?
Cry.
I've been left here all by myself, more or less at a total loss. Alright, we have ourselves a bad end. Number 11 shifts over. Our poor feline friend isn't going to get paid now that those debt collectors showed up and dragged her boss away. If a certain someone hadn't told the thugs how to get to the Nokone building, they probably wouldn't have caught Yanagashita. The right decision happens at 11:15, but who has to make it?
We do.
So obviously one of our other 4 characters is going to tell them how to get to the building.
Okay. I thought it was because we, what do you call it? Instead of giving the, bottle to the hobo, we should have given it to the businessman?
Nah.
Is that what was? Oh,
no.
okay.
So now we're It's a little bit harder to understand when Achi and Kano were going back and forth,
Mhm.
but one of these 4 other characters is going to do something that is going to cause those thugs to get to the Nokane building. That's what that hint is saying, that basically we have to change what one of the other characters does in order for Tama's route to continue. So, who do we want to go with? So we have Osawa, we have Minorikawa, we have Kano, and we have Achi.
Let's meet Midorikawa, because I like Tokyo Mimu, and that reminds me of lettuce. So.
All right. Minorikawa, let's do this.
Oh, Midorikawa.
This man is ridiculous. The Super Cub,
My time.
The Super Cub 90 raced down Route 246 towards Shibuya. The Super Cub 90 is a motorcycle produced by Honda with a 85cc engine displacement, a common sight around town, often used by newspaper and postal delivery workers. Many owners are big enthusiasts, sometimes even swapping out parts such as the handlebars or mufflers and giving the body a repaint, resulting in fashionable bikes that don't even look like Super Cubs at first glance. The speedometer remained at a steady 60 km per hour. Pumping the gas harder was no use. This was as fast as the bike would go.
It's okay.
Minoru Minorikawa shouted as he sped along. Damn it! I am not letting you die! He jerked the handlebars.
It's weird that I have the same goggle. Anyway, I found out at a convention. Anyway.
He jerked the handlebars and blew past a truck on the inside. The driver scowled at him as he shot by. You maniac! You trying to get yourself killed? Just the opposite, Minorikawa shouted back. I'm saving lives! The stoplight ahead turned red, cutting him off at the intersection. Oh, come on! He had no choice but to slam on the brakes. But his agitation boiled over as he waited for the signal to change again. How long's this thing gonna stay red? Hurry up already! He brought the bike right up to the very edge of the line, keeping the engine revved like a dragster ready to peel out. Not on time is not in my dictionary. The light turned red. Then Minorikawa's own light turned green at last. He hit the accelerator as hard as he could. His engine died with a sputter. Huh? Oh, come on, what the hell?
Well, that's what you get, bitch.
Car horns blared angrily behind him. In a fury, he pulled his bike over to the side of the road. No matter what he did, the engine refused to turn over. Was the problem with the spark plug, or maybe the battery? Whatever it was, he didn't have the time to figure it out now. With tears in his eyes, he left the bike, his companion of 10 years, abandoned on the roadside. He was about to break into a run when he saw a taxi dead ahead letting out a passenger. He hurried to hop into the cab. Just head for Shibuya Station. I'll let you know exactly where when we get closer. The taxi driver nodded coolly. Of course, sir. 10 minutes! Huh? I need you to get me there in 10 minutes.
You don't get paid enough for this shit?
Yeah, the driver grimaced. I'm afraid getting there in 10 minutes is a bit... 15 then! Sir, that's still... Look, that's all the time I can afford. Assuming traffic conditions cooperate, sir, then maybe. I can't make any promises. Minorikawa looked at the driver's ID photo above the fare meter. His name was Hachiru Kimizuka. He was a middle-aged fellow, looked a bit rough around the edges. Mr. Kimizuka, I chose you for this. You can do it. Chose me? Sir, I'm pretty certain we met by chance. Okay, sure, I suppose you could phrase it that way. Anyhow, can we get going? Right, Kimizuka said with a faint sigh. I'll see what I can do. The taxi pulled away at a decent
Better get a raise.
clip. Yeah.
Better get a goddamn raise.
This man needs to raise his fare just for Minorikawa. Oh. Minorikawa's frantic journey had started 20 minutes earlier. He'd been at home working on an interview piece. He clucked his tongue in annoyance as the ringing phone broke into his train of thought. Why did someone always call right when the words were flowing? If he didn't keep getting interrupted, he probably could wrap this piece up in no time. Be quiet! He pointed at the telephone as he yelled, I'm writing here! But his shouting did nothing to silence the ringing. He didn't have much choice but to pick up.
Ding, 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 phone call, ding, ding.
Minorikawa speaking. There was no response. Hello? He hesitated, ready to hang up. Was it a prank call?
Hello.
It's me. It's Toyama. It was Teruo Toyama, the president of Heaven Publishing. Heaven Publishing is a publishing company that puts out both hard-hitting nonfiction books and tabloid-style scandal rags. The Invincible Journalist, penned by company president Toyama himself, was a candidate for the Japan Nonfiction Prize. Oh. What do you want? This is about work. I'm already booked pretty full. He'd taken work from Heaven Publishing on several occasions, but the pay was hardly competitive. Lately, he'd been turning them down a lot. He hadn't heard from Toyama in a while. No, this isn't work-related. Then what do you want? I'm kind of pressed for time here, working on some copy. Minorikawa was in no mood to beat around the bush. It seemed like every conversation he had with Toyama went like this. Ah, you're busy. That's good. Busy's good when you're a freelancer. Toyama sounded unusually sympathetic. Toyama found it off-putting. I hear sales have been good on your end, he said cautiously, with this month's 4-star general gossip and all. 4-star general gossip was a monthly magazine, Heaven Publishing's flagship publication. 4-star general gossip is a magazine focusing on the private lives of celebrities and politicians. Most of the articles found in its pages are random nonsense, but 1 out of every 100 or so contains an actual major scoop, making it a difficult outlet to ignore.
God damn it, I know so many like that. It's like, bitch, just leave them alone. Leave Britney alone. Anyway.
It had a small circulation, and for the most part flew under the radar, but once in a while they'd land some big scoop and sell like crazy. This month's edition had come with a free scratch card, a gimmick that had moved 100,000 copies with ease. 5 winning symbols in a row wins 100,000 yen, was it? Minorikawa asked. A weak, moist sound came through the receiver.
Moist sound?
Yeah. Just try to imagine that one.
Okay. A moist sound.
Baffled, Minorikawa listened more closely. It came again, then again. Kind of sounded like sobbing. Mr. Toyama? Are you crying? There was another soft sob, and then yet another. What's going on? Where are you? Minorikawa asked.
Watching the Titanic, probably.
At the office, Toyama managed. He let out another mewling whimper. What's the matter? It's nothing. Well, it's gotta be something. Come on, what is it? Toyama gave no reply.
Again, it's either Titanic, The Notebook, or Lassie. Take your pick.
Mr. Toyama? You still there? Silence. What is it? What happened? Look, doesn't tell me anything. What the hell is going on? Toyama squeaked out a drawn-out whine. Okay, I'm sick of this. I'm hanging up now. Minorikawa was about to break the connection when he heard Toyama murmur. The only
end of Modulum King.
The only thing I can do now is die.
Okay, that escalated quickly.
The taxi lurched to a sudden stop as the driver slammed on the brakes. Minorikawa pitched forward, his face smacking against the back of the seat in front of him. Kimazuka stuck his head out the window. Careful, buddy! He shouted at someone in the street ahead. You're gonna get yourself killed! Minorikawa blinked the stars from his eyes and saw a man moving alongside the cab. That looks mysteriously like Kano.
It does.
The guy grabbed onto the handle of the back door. Please, I need you to let me have this cab. No way, Minorikawa snapped. Just who did this guy think he was? Please, I am begging you here. Look, I'm in a hurry, pal. Get your own cab. I know how ridiculous this must sound, but please, this is a really, really urgent. Urgent? Yes, it's a matter of life or death. Please. The guy did look pretty desperate. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm dealing with something urgent here too. Then let me ride with you. I'll pay for the whole fare. My entire future's on the line here. The guy sure was persistent. Maybe he was telling the truth. But Minorikawa had problems of his own. Sorry, buddy. It's life or death on my end, too. I gotta look after me and mine. Right.
Damn.
So sorry to trouble you. Finally, the guy gave up and shuffled away. Guess it couldn't have been that much of a life-ending crisis after all. Minorikawa checked his wristwatch. Damn it! That just cost us 5 minutes! Try to make it up, sir, the driver called back. The taxi lurched into motion, the engine quickly revving up to speed.
I don't know how to feel right now. Like, either Minorikawa is gonna be a good boy or he's gonna be a little bitch. I don't know which one yet, but he's giving me some kind of vibes.
Once inside the building, he avoided the elevator in favor of rushing up the stairs. Heaven Publishing rented out the third and fourth floors. In all likelihood, Toyama would be at the editing department of 4-Star General Gossip on the 4th floor. When he got there, however, the door was locked. Mr. Toyama! Hey, Mr. Toyama! He shouted and banged, but there was no reply. Something was seriously wrong. Minorikawa took a deep breath and then kicked the door in. Whoa! The sight as he stepped into the office filled him with horror.
Oh, damn. Oh, no.
Minorikawa clutched the sides of his head. Too late. Oh no. If only I'd gotten here a little sooner. And a bad end. Number 13, just 5 minutes.
Ooh.
Minorikawa rushed to Heaven Publishing as fast as he could, but he didn't get there in time to save Toyama, and sad to say, it was really all Kano's fault. Why does Kano want a taxi so badly? Check his 11:10 timestamp, and the situation might become clearer. Okay, so now we have to change Kano's to make him not stop the taxi, so that Minorikawa can get there in time to save Toyama.
Okay. Ooh.
I think we can do... Let's do one more tonight. So Osawa, Kano, or Achi?
Let's do Osawa because we haven't met them yet.
Alright.
And they need their spotlight.
Yep. Wealth, status, honor. None of these mean anything to me. All I want is a peaceful life. To put worry behind me. To stay calm and serene. To be free
Amen.
of worldly concerns. Free.
This boy trying to get some zen up in here.
At any cost. Zen. A cheery rhythm pumped from the CD player set up against the study wall. It was the latest hit from Aya Kamiki, the songwriter sensation who was blowing up the pop charts. Kenji Osawa reached for the stereo remote on his desktop. He ratcheted the volume up a little louder.
Caramel danced and just... Yes. No.
He looked like the sort of man who'd be more interested in classical music, but in fact he was a huge fan of the girl rock popular with middle schoolers. Closing his eyes, he swayed back and forth in time with the music, humming his favorite lyrics under his breath. But his movements faltered. It's no use. Aya's voice usually soothed whatever ailed him, but today even she couldn't help. Today, Osawa was a complete wreck in both body and mind. Mounds of paperwork were scattered across the desktop in his study, all of it about viruses and vaccines. It had only been a week since he'd returned from a business trip to his company's branch office in the US, and he was slated to go back in another week's time. There was a truly staggering amount of work he needed to get through while he was at home. He picked up one of the papers, glanced at it aimlessly, then tossed it back onto the desk. Slumping back in his chair, he let out a long, deep sigh. He was in no mental state to work right now. A faint knock at the door barely roused him from his torpor. "Director, may I come in?" It was his vice director, Mamoru Tanaka. "Sure, door's open." Tanaka came into the study. "I know it's not a great time, but..." Osawa could barely make out his words. He tapped the remote, lowering the volume of the music. Tanaka continued apologetically. "A call came in from the lab. They're hoping for a response to the email they sent yesterday." "I'm sure they don't need it today." "Apparently they do need an answer as soon as possible, sir. I did ask them to give you some more time, but..." "I see," Osawa said wearily. "All right, then." Tanaka dipped his head slightly and slipped out of the room. Warm and fuzzy relationship right there. Osawa contemplated his colleague. Tanaka was a man he could truly depend on. He has enough of his own work to do. He didn't need to come here again today, but he did. They'd been working in close concert ever since Osawa had gotten back to Japan. Without Tanaka's support, there was no way he would be in a mindset to do any work at all right now. Sidling up to his computer, Osawa opened his email program and started answering the work-related messages. He reported on his business travel expenses, offered his opinions on capital investments, requested confirmation on current medicinal stockpiles. He worked with bleak detachment. None of this meant anything to him right now. Then a new email appeared in his inbox. The sender was identified simply as A. The subject line read, 1 year ago, South Africa. The message body was blank, but there appeared to be multiple images attached. I'm going to warn you right now, if you have any sort of medical or you get grossed out by somewhat graphic images of death, do not look at the screen. I will let you know when when it is safe to come back. But just want to warn anyone who's got any of those sort of triggers. Ordinarily, Osawa would have deleted a message like this immediately, assuming that it contained some kind of virus. But the word South Africa drew his attention. Could this possibly be related to... He couldn't help but to wonder. For a long moment, he hovered the cursor over one of the image files. At last, as if spurred on by the upbeat rhythm in his ears, he double-clicked the mouse. What is this? The grainy photograph showed a large room with a dozen or so people laid out in beds. It appeared to be some sort of medical ward. Osawa felt a strange flutter in his chest. He quickly opened another image. This one showed a close-up of one of the patients in his bed. Large red blotches covered his face. A large volume of blood appeared to be dripping from his ears and nostrils. A cold shudder ran up Osawa's spine. What the hell? These symptoms... Osawa opened up the remaining image files. Each new picture showed another of the patients. They all appeared to be teetering on the brink of death. There was no doubt about it. These people were infected with the WA virus. The WA virus belongs to the family... Oh, shit. Filoviridae? Genus... Wallicavirus. I just like...
I think it's Walike virus.
Walike? We'll go with it. It's a member of the same family as the Ebola virus and causes WA virus fulminant hemorrhagic fever. It's capable of airborne transmission, although an infected individual cannot pass on the infection before symptoms manifest. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC, have assigned the virus to risk group 4, their classification for the most dangerous infectious agents.
Thank God that's not what we're dealing with in
Yeah,
2020 right now.
I'll take COVID over this.
Oh, hell yeah.
But how? Question tumbled through Osawa's mind. His fingers tapped out a quick message. He doubted he'd get a response, but he might as well try. Who are you? Where are these images from? South Africa 1 year ago. That was in the subject.
Yeah. Were you even paying attention, sir? Okay, but then again, he just saw some really like crazy images of people in the hospital, I guess.
The Wa virus got its name from a Swahili word for flower. So the virus is roughly 90 nanometers to 110 nanometers in diameter and 500 nanometers to 700 nanometers long. Because of its pronounced sickle-like shape, it's sometimes known as the sickle of death. It possesses a viral envelope, the surface of which is coated with spike-shaped protein protuberances. 1 nanometer is 1 billionth of a meter. It's 0.00000000001 meter. I think I said enough zeros. I might have done one extra. It's very small.
It's fine. Just say it's hella small.
It's very tiny. Supposedly, this was based on the fact that the propagated form of the virus resembled the petals of a flower. Despite the flowery name, however, the disease was anything but pretty. Wa didn't just mean flower, it also meant to kill. And as the name suggested, the virus had a mortality rate of 100% in those it managed to infect. Because most details regarding the Wa virus have been suppressed, cases of the Wa infection are largely unknown to the world at large. Because all patients known to be infected with the virus on official record have died within a short time frame, the mortality rate is given as 100%. As the incidence of known cases grows, the number may drop below 100%, but the mortality rate will likely remain extraordinarily high. Moreover, there was a very short incubation period between infection, the onset of symptoms, and death. Inhaled viral particles can spread from the lungs to the lymph nodes, and from there disperse throughout the body. The virus propagates in several places, including liver cells and macrophages, a component of the immune system, and destroys the endothelial cells within blood vessels. Upon reaching the brain, it forms a neural sludge of blood mixed with other bodily fluids, which sounds absolutely gross.
That's probably why the people were, I guess, leaking.
Yep. There's your nice blood sludge. Within roughly 12 hours, bleeding would set in throughout the body, everywhere but the bones and muscles, with lethal results. Due to its incredibly high mortality rate, the disease's very existence had been kept hidden from public knowledge.
But isn't that something y'all should tell people?
I mean, if no one's getting it, then why would you make people afraid of it?
Well, yeah.
Osawa's computer chimed to signify the arrival of a new email. The sender was A. He hurried to open the message. Once again, the subject line read, 1 year ago, South Africa. Your crimes. Osawa stared at those two words. My crimes? That left him only with further questions. He looked again at the images from the previous email. What makes any of this my crimes? He could see that the patient's bleeding was severe. He estimated that several hours had passed since the onset of the disease. Wouldn't be long before their lives were cut short. To feel that agony, that suffering, and then to perish. Am I to blame for that?
He was just trying to enjoy some J-pop, okay?
I know.
That's all he wanted today.
Another faint knock came at the door. Darling, do you have a moment? It was his wife,
Waifu.
A is yes, come in, or B is just give me a second and close the mail program.
I don't think that's something you should show your wife.
Yeah. So we want to go ahead and close the mail program?
Yeah.
Just
I
give me
mean,
a...
not that I don't trust my wife, but
I mean, we don't know our wife yet, so, you know.
true. She could be like one of those that overreacts and shit.
Yeah,
Anyway.
just give me a second. Osawa hurriedly closed the mail program. Even if this was nothing more than some sick prank, it wasn't anything he wanted his family to see. Especially not I.
Exactly.
Alright, come in.
Oh.
For anyone who has been looking away, feel free to look back. But Osawa turned to see that I had already let herself into the study. The sharp sting of her
Oof.
perfume made him scrunch up his face for a moment. Have you reconsidered the whole America thing? She asked. This again, Osawa thought sullenly to himself. Please, he said. Can we not discuss this right now? If not now, then when? You know this isn't a decision to just make on your own. On his latest business trip, a major American pharmaceutical firm had attempted to headhunt him, asking him to join them and be among the top researchers in the world. The money and prestige held no interest for him, and he was reluctant to turn his back on Okoshi Pharmaceutical after his many years of service. Okoshi Pharmaceutical is the pharmaceutical company for which Kenji Osawa works. It's a major corporation with a solid sales network both domestically and internationally, and an annual turnover of 1 trillion yen. It holds
Holy
patents for
shit.
several medications that are in demand worldwide, and is influential at the Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare, and other political institutions. The company employs roughly 7,000 people, including 600 researchers.
Damn,
So they
boy.
big.
They hella big, yo. Hella big.
Nonetheless, he was intrigued by the offer. It would mean the chance to conduct his virus research in a much better funded environment. Taking the job would necessitate relocating to the US, however. When he'd mentioned the possibility of immigrating to Ai, she'd shot the idea down on the spot. Her opposition was understandable. Ai's father, Suguru Makino, was a member of Okoshi Pharmaceutical's board of directors. No way was he going to let Osawa jump ship to another company. Darling, please. I drew in closer to him. Think about it from my perspective. If you leave for America, what am I supposed to tell my father?
Bye, bitch. No.
He'd gotten so used to it, that grating whine of hers. Have you considered what might happen to Okoshi if you leave, dear? We can discuss this once all of this is finished. Osawa kept his voice as level as he could. You do remember that you're a director, right? I said. You have responsibilities. Stop thinking about yourself so much. With a sour look, I turned and departed. So we have a very happy marriage, it sounds like.
Yeah, totally. Y'all are hitting it off. You're
Mhm.
still in that honeymoon phase.
Well, he had known that moving to America would never be a simple matter, regardless of what his wife thought about it. There was another reason, however, the antiviral agent that he had developed at Okoshi. An antiviral agent is a therapeutic drug used to treat viral infections. Examples include the drugs used against influenza and HIV. These treatments do not eliminate the infection, rather, they simply inhibit the development of the disease. There's still many issues with such drugs, including the risk that treated viruses possess or develop a resistance that makes the treatment ineffective. Academic institutions and pharmaceutical companies worldwide devote tremendous resources to further advancing the field of antiviral medicine. After the WA virus was discovered, infectious disease research facilities worldwide had thrown themselves into a top-secret effort to develop a vaccine. Sorry.
You're good.
Vaccines function by safely introducing a harmless or attenuated version of a virus or other pathogen into the human body. This triggers the body to produce antibodies against the pathogen, making it difficult for the dangerous version to take hold. But Makino had ordered Osawa to work on creating an antiviral agent, not a vaccine. A vaccine immunized the subject in order to prevent infection in the first place. Conversely, an antiviral agent could be used to treat patients already infected. It was a so-called wonder drug for combating the virus itself. Creating such a drug was far easier said than done. Developing the antiviral had been a long, arduous road.
But you're a smart cookie, so I believe in you.
Only after years of research had Osawa's team succeeded in identifying a substance that might qualify as an antiviral agent for WA. In theory, if it was administered during the virus's initial stages, 100% recovery could be obtained. Data also suggested an 80% survival rate for patients treated shortly after the onset of symptoms. But there was a fatal flaw with the new antiviral agent. The side effects on the body were unusually potent. If it was administered in amounts beyond a certain threshold, it was linked to life-threatening complications. For a time, the research was at an impasse. It had seemed that the drug had to be administered in high volume to combat the explosive propagation of the WA virus. But then Osawa had received some fortuitous news.
I hope that one of the symptoms was not Bieber fever, because nobody wants that. Nobody.
Something tells me that was not one of them. Okoshi Pharmaceuticals' nanotechnology branch had engineered a cutting-edge device known as the DDS. Nanotechnology is technology created and or operated on an extremely small scale, often measured in nanometers. There are 1 billion nanometers in a meter, so very small.
Small.
Some nanotech devices are literally regulated on the atomic level. The possibilities are ever expanding in their practical fields, such as medicine and materials science. The United States is among the world leaders in the push for research and development. DDS is an acronym for Drug Delivery System. Such a system administers ultra-microscopic drug capsules to a targeted area of the body. Osawa had jumped on it immediately. By administering his antiviral agent with nanotech DDS, he was able to use smaller amounts of the drug to quash the WA virus with precision. Because the DDS can be used to deliver a drug with pinpoint precision and only where it's needed, it can greatly reduce the side effects of even very potent drugs. The DDS, developed by Okoshi Pharmaceutical, utilizes advanced high-tech polymers, which ensure that the capsules containing the drug are fully broken down and eliminated from the body roughly 1 week after administration. So we have video. So we inject it there, it goes there, it does what it needs to. Seems like a good thing.
Yeah, I would say that.
I mean, I have, like, zero medical knowledge, so... But it looks like a good thing. It looked like it did what it needed to do.
Mitochondria is the
powerhouse of the cell. And that's about as far as I got in biology.
Same.
The procedure was a huge success. There was a marked increase in the drug's efficacy, along with the expected decrease in adverse side effects. A pharmaceutical is said to have a positive effect if its use brings about the desired results when treating a medical condition, but many drugs create unwanted or unforeseen adverse effects as well. Given the extreme complexity of most drugs' interactions with the human body, nearly any medicine can have both positive and negative effects. The effects had been confirmed via animal testing on monkeys, and now the antiviral was ready for the final stages: clinical trials on humans. Animal testing are experiments involving drugs or medical techniques tested on animals to confirm their safety before they're used on humans. The 1964 Declaration of Helsinki, which lays out ethical standards for human experimentation, advocates responsible animal testing, but many animal rights advocates regard such testing as a form of human cruelty. Clinical trials are when a new drug is being prepared for government approval. After it's been tested on animals, it must pass tests on humans, clinical trials, that evaluate its safety and suitability. Such tests are frequently conducted on both patients and healthy individuals. In Japan, the development of new drugs is often hindered by insufficient legal infrastructure for conducting clinical trials, resulting in a smaller knowledge base and fewer opportunities for testing. But the very existence of this new wonder drug was still a secret. No doubt Okoshi's leadership would be reluctant to see Osawa, the drug's lead researcher, transferred to another company.
Or another country.
Yeah. Still, it wasn't completely outside the realm of possibility. Once the antiviral was out of development and announced to the public, Osawa would be free and clear. For that very reason, he was loath to cause any friction over the drug right now. This anxiety only magnified his concern about the email he'd just received. Osawa called up Tanaka over the intercom. "There's something I want to show you. Could you come in here?" He needed a second opinion, and Tanaka could be relied upon. Osawa opened the door the moment Tanaka knocked. He looked around before ushering his vice director inside. What's this about, sir? This. Osawa showed him one of the images. Tanaka's face went pale. It can't be. Tanaka clearly...
Sephiroth this in Smash.
Yeah. Oh yeah, trigger warning again. Look away. Tanaka clearly recognized the symptoms of the Wa virus. Any idea what this is about? Osawa asked. No, sir. These images were just emailed to me. The subject line says 1 year ago, South Africa. That would put it around the same time as the most recent run of infections, wouldn't it, sir? But that information isn't... Tanaka trailed off. Osawa nodded. The thing that I don't understand is why these pictures were sent to me. Osawa opened the other email from A. The second message I got says that these pictures are my crimes. I'll look into this on my end, sir, Tanaka said. He hesitated uncomfortably. Sir, just to make sure, Are you asking about what I think you're asking about? Osawa said. Tanaka gave a slight nod. Understood, Osawa said. Don't worry, I won't trouble you. I appreciate that, sir. Visibly relieved, Tanaka left the study. Glad we decided to say that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Osawa brought up a folder marked WA_virus on his screen. Within the folder were enlarged images of the virus itself. He double-clicked one of the images. It blew open on the monitor to reveal the pathogen in intricate detail. A specimen of the WA virus was approximately 100 nanometers in diameter. 10,000 of them in line would take up barely a millimeter. But a single tiny virion, upon entering the human body, could become 2,000 in an hour. That speed of multiplication was nothing short of astonishing. Even the Ebola virus had a typical incubation period of 7 days or so before infectees developed symptoms. Ebola virus is a virus of the family Filoviridae that causes Ebola hemorrhagic fever. Currently, 5 characterized species are known: Thai forest, Sudan, Reston, Zaire, and Bundibugyo. Ebola is widely known for its high mortality rate, 53% for the Sudan form, 88% for the Zaire. But the Reston variety, discovered in monkeys that had been brought into the US, has displayed no pathogenicity in humans. For influenza, it was 1 or 2. But the onset of the WA virus happened in a mere 12 hours. Osawa viewed an image slideshow of the virus's propagation mechanism. It was a fascinating sight, no matter how many times he looked at it. Viruses existed to multiply, nothing more. They had no motives, no driving logic. Nothing but simple multiplication. To Osawa, that fact held a certain air of mystery. If viruses had emotions, how would they feel about their lives?
Horny.
He had thrown himself into virus research in search of answers to questions like that. Answers that no man could truly know. But we know.
We know what they want.
His development of the antiviral agent had really been nothing more than another job responsibility. He felt no particular sense of duty to protect people from a killer virus. He was just happy for the chance to play around with WA day after day. Another email arrived in his inbox. The sender? A. The subject line? 1 year ago, South Africa. Again. Osawa read the message. Do not look away. These are your crimes. In all caps. This time, there were 4 images attached. Again, if you have medical anxiety, look away. Osawa proceeded to open each of them in turn. The first shocked Osawa so much that he felt like he'd been punched in the head. One of the WA patients from the earlier images was being injected with something. No. Osawa muttered to himself. It can't be. Never mind, apparently we're not going to show anything. If you are weirded out by pictures of eyes, though, we're just going to keep zooming in on his eye. It's fine. The second image showed one of the infected hunched over in pain, vomiting up blood. The symptoms had already manifested, but Osawa thought he could see that some degree of life had come back into the patient's eyes. He rushed to open the third image. It showed a morgue piled high with corpses. The rictus of anguish on the dead faces made them look no longer human. Various fluids seeped from the eyes and nostrils. The lymph nodes were grotesquely swollen. Lymph nodes are small organs that function as part of the lymphatic system in mammals. When a foreign substance invades the body, the lymph nodes detected, prompting the production of white blood cells such as lymphocytes and macrophages to consume the invader. A viral infection sometimes causes the lymph nodes to swell up as a result of the increased activity. So you can see that your lymph nodes are like in your armpit. So there were hospital beds.
Wear deodorant.
Yeah. Stained with massive amounts of blood and gastric fluids. Next came the fourth and final image. Look away. Luckily, if your anxiety is not too bad, they are all very grainy. However, if you have anxiety and you start hearing these, you might start looking at them going, I think I can see it.
Yeah.
More corpses. They had badges affixed to their chests with various labels. 6 hours passed, 12 hours passed, and 18 hours passed. It looked as if someone had been attempting live trials with the antiviral agent. Osawa didn't consider the antiviral agent ready for release, but that was because his team hadn't conducted clinical trials on humans yet. Well, looks like someone has. 1 year ago in South Africa.
Yeah. Illegally, probably.
And there was a good reason why such trials hadn't been conducted. There was no way to test the efficacy of the drug without an infected patient. To run a proper clinical test, someone would first need to be infected with the WA virus. No matter how effective animal testing had been, if the drug proved ineffective on humans, that person would have a guaranteed death sentence. It was unthinkable to run trials that involved such a deadly risk. And yet, as he looked over the images again and again, Osawa became certain. Without his knowledge, someone, presumably someone from Okoshi Pharmaceutical, had conducted human testing with the antiviral agent.
Without permission.
Yeah, the time markers on the corpses in the fourth image were surely there to mark the time elapsed since the onset of symptoms. A thorough trial would test the drug's effectiveness in those time frames. Osawa slammed his fist on the desk, enraged. This was nothing short of vile human experimentation in the guise of clinical testing. The people responsible could not be allowed to get away with this. There was only one person Osawa could trust to keep this under wraps. His boss, Makino. He reached for his phone to call Makino. But he stopped short as soon as he picked up the receiver. He knew he was in no state of mind to have a calm, reasoned conversation right now. Turning to the CD player, he put on Ayakamiki's latest album. Gotta have our J-pop time. Leaning back in his chair, he surrendered himself to her soothing tones. Bit by bit, he could feel himself returning to a calmer, emotional state. There had been a time when Osawa hadn't listened to music at all. In fact, he'd had no interest in the arts in general. Music, painting, cinema. It was only due to a simple coincidence that he had found Ayakamiki. His daughter had asked for a CD as a birthday present, so we'd swung by the store to pick one up. Since Kamiku's new album had just come out, there was a display for it in the front of the shop. Something about the bright, colorful album packaging had drawn him in.
I mean, look at that thing. It looks amazing.
It
also,
does.
WX Futari no Body and Soul. Is that her? Is that her? Is she the one who sings the Kamen Rider double opening? Probably. Maybe. I don't know.
She's a big name, so...
Probably is. I'll take your word for it. Just.
After a time, Osawa could feel himself growing calmer. He took a nice, deep breath. Alright. A, then he dialed up Makino, or B, he closed his eyes and tried to banish his nerves completely.
He should just call the boss, because this is kind of urgent, and the more he stalls and procrastinates, probably the worse it's gonna be. Also, I'm gonna galaxy brain weird, uh, um, theorize right here and be all like, "You're probably wrong, but it's fine." What if A is actually his wife? Okay, anyway,
There you go.
that's my game theory for today. But it's just the theory, a game theory. Oh, anyway.
Okay, so we want to dial up our boss.
Yeah, we gotta call the boss because the more time passes, the more we gonna die.
He took a nice deep breath and then he dialed up Makino. Has there been any progress? Makino asked as soon as he picked up. His voice was somber. No, Osawa said. Nothing much yet. A tiny sigh came from the other end of the line. I see. Then what can I do for you? Sir, I'll just get right to the point. Have you conducted clinical trials using the antiviral drug? Makino didn't respond right away.
Oh, shit.
What makes you think that? He asked at last. Osawa described the emails he'd received. When he'd finished, Makino let out his breath in surprise. Not over the phone, he said. We'll discuss this in person. I'll head over to your place when I'm done here. As soon as possible, sir. As soon as I can manage, Makino said. You're not the only person who's busy. With that, Makino hung up. There was no doubt about it then. There had been human testing. Osawa went to let Tanaka know he'd be meeting with Makino. A stolid-looking man stood in the hallway, almost as if he'd been waiting for Osawa to emerge. Pardon me, Mr. Osawa, but could you come with me for a moment?
Say no to drugs, kids.
The detectives assembled in the living room all wore grave expressions. The room was brimming with tension, and Osawa felt it ramp up even further as he entered. What is it? He asked. Has something happened? The man who had come to find him turned to speak, hesitating at first. Yes, it turns out that your other daughter, Hitomi, has been abducted by an unknown party.
Oh, shit.
Abducted? Osawa's mind whirled. What are you talking about? Maria is the one who's been abducted. No, sir, you don't understand. I'm saying that Hitomi has also been abducted in addition to Maria.
Damn.
I should point out, we know that Hitomi hasn't actually been abducted because she's with Achi. But but I'm sure to the police...
Just hanging out.
Don't be ridiculous. The night before, his daughter Maria gets kidnapped, and this morning, his other daughter Hitomi gets carried off when she goes to deliver the ransoms. He'd never heard anything more outrageous in his life. We're sorry, sir. A detective was with her, but... The police went on to explain that Hitomi had somehow managed to end up all by herself, and while she was alone, several individuals had forced her into a car and driven off. Osawa could barely comprehend what they were saying. His mind was in a fog. The detective's words seemed to grow quieter and quieter. Osawa's strength drained from his body. His ability to process external stimuli began to drift far, far away. It's not possible. It can't be. Could no one keep them safe? Not me. Not anyone? My girls, He told me. Maria. It's not true. This is all just a bad dream. Some kind of sick joke. It's not true. It's just all a bad dream. It's a lie. It's a twisted joke. Someone made this all up. Stop saying I want to hear it. It's all a lie. Please tell me that isn't true. Please tell me this isn't a nightmare. Please tell me, please. Slowly, the ceiling began to spin. Then, Osawa's vision went awash with white.
Damn, maybe he should have heard Aya Kamiki. Anyway.
Bad end, number 15, worst case scenario. Osawa just had a complete mental breakdown when he heard that not just one, but both of his daughters were kidnapped. But surely there has to be someone who can keep Hitomi safe. She's been on the run with Achi, but just what are they up to? The key to changing her fate and her father's lies with Achi's decision at 11:05. All right. So, we're going to end there for tonight on that very cheery note.
Woo! That sounds like a nice time.
Yeah. Lemur's actually feeling better. For anyone who is wondering, today was just her first day back at work, and for anyone who has come back to work after a extended period of leaving, first day sucks. Next stream is, in theory, on Monday. We'll see how she's feeling and all of that, whether we're up to doing Age of Calamity. Otherwise, we'll be back on Tuesday. Whether or not she's back depends on what we play. If she's not, we'll continue on with 428. If she is, we'll be back on Phoenix Wright. And yeah.
Woo!
So, we will see you.
Sorry about my shit Wi-Fi today.
Yeah.
Didn't expect a power outage or whatever it was.
Yeah, we'll see if I can talk tomorrow.
I'm sorry, Glee.
But yeah, so we will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Wash your hands, wear a mask, be safe, and we'll see you then. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.